When Captain Daniel Unsworth failed to lock down the narrative in a West Roxbury courtroom, he decided to lock down a public school instead. On March 5, 2026, Unsworth placed a frantic, early morning call to a middle school 40 miles outside his jurisdiction. Here lies the staggering, dark irony of the man. A high-ranking Watertown captain who had spent his career managing school resource officers and presenting himself as a certified Kingjin nonviolence conflict resolution trainer suddenly threw all his supposed peace-building philosophies out the window. Acting less like an enlightened administrator and more like an unhinged instigator, he suggested to school administrators that a faculty member, the whistleblower, was mentally unwell and that there was an active criminal charge for which he could march in and arrest her right there in the building. That single, reckless phone call triggered a 90-minute hold-in-place lockdown. In a gateway city, public school, serving vulnerable, at-risk students, a 90-minute hold-in-place isn't just an inconvenience. It's an administrative disaster. For an hour and a half, total lockdown protocol paralyzed the building. No students were allowed to walk to the nurse for vital medication, use the restroom, access their lockers, or even get a drink of water. Basic human needs were frozen solid because a police captain 40 miles away wanted to manufacture a theatrical crisis. What actually triggered Watertown Captain Daniel Unsworth's unhinged March 5 school lockdown? Follow the paper trail. On March 3, 2026, the whistleblower dropped a bombshell email directly to the Belmont Select Board, exposing how Unsworth's Watertown department was weaponizing a retaliatory restraining order to bury public records right in the middle of his police chief candidacy. The very next day, on March 4, Belmont Select Board member Elizabeth Harmer Dion replied, thanking her and noting that while they were negotiating with another applicant, Unsworth's background baggage was useful information to have if talks fell through. Given municipal notification protocols, Unsworth undoubtedly caught wind that his dream of a chief star was actively imploding because of his own dirty work. Panicked, humiliated, and desperate to silence the source, Unsworth snapped. If Captain Unsworth and Officer Mafum expected the school to crack under the pressure, they completely miscalculated the whistleblower's resilience. Realizing she was facing an unhinged municipal hit job, she took immediate defensive action. On Friday, March 6, 2026, she secured attorney Timothy Brattle. Earlier that week, a seasoned State Street lawyer had given her some sobering, hard-boiled advice. Cops lie, cops harass, and if they start harassing your lawyer, you'll just have to pay another lawyer to represent your lawyer. But in Tim Brattle, brilliant, razor-sharp, with ice water in his veins and the commanding presence of a true legal titan, she found a champion who didn't blink at Watertown's unconstitutional overreach. The Watertown Police Department's organized harassment and retaliation campaign didn't stop at school gates. The very next day, on Saturday, March 7, 2026, the whistleblower received a criminal summons in the mail. The charge, a single, vague criminal violation of the restraining order allegedly occurring on March 1. Catch? They didn't even include the underlying charging documents, or explain how emailing the Watertown City Council and CCing the Watertown Police Department's general inbox could possibly qualify as a violation. It was a ghost charge designed purely for intimidation. That escalation led directly to the courtroom stage just days later, to watch Khalil Mafum on the witness stand during the March 13 two-party hearing was to witness masterclass in pathological, compulsive lying. True to form, Mafum couldn't answer a direct, simple yes or no question about whether he actually lived in Manchester, New Hampshire. Instead, Like a cornered snake, he twisted himself into a knot of hilarious contradictions. By Mafhum's logic, he couldn't possibly live in his New Hampshire house because the place was apparently overrun by aggressive rodents and featured a broken furnace, a sparkling defense strategy. I commit mortgage fraud, therefore I cannot be a resident. Notice the classic hyperbole of a compulsive liar trying to keep his story straight. First, he whined that everything was digital and electronic, that the bank just forced him to sign things blindly. But a breath later, he claimed he was buried under an entire physical pallet and pile of paperwork. Is it, Khalil? Did a forklift drop a cargo crate of loan documents into your kitchen? He sobbed that he had no real estate lawyer, and that the home was an absolute shackle to his foot that he just desperately wanted to get rid of. Yet, in the very same breath, he admitted he had relatives lined up to move right into this mouse-infested, frozen tundra hovel. The real comedy during that March 15 hearing, however, was tracking Mafhum's multi-year obsession with spontaneous combustion. Back on October 13, 2022, Mafhum stood before Manchester's Superior Court Judge Privet, whimpering that he was terrified he'd lose his house because the whistleblower was going to set it on fire. He dragged that exact same dramatic script down to West Roxbury on February 26, 2026, weeping to Judge Garner about the imminent threat of arson. Come the March 15 hearing, the fire narrative vanished completely into thin air. Why? 'Cause, as attorney Timothy Bradle brilliantly skewered him on cross-examination, Mafhum doesn't live in objective reality. He lives in whatever paperwork serves his immediate needs. Bradle captured the sheer absurdity of the department's paranoia perfectly, deadpanning to the court.
I mean, we can worry that she's going to drive a Sherman tank through his house. Do we have any information that that's going to happen?
It was surgical, razor-sharp prosecution. Bradle nailed Mafhum's coarse psychological profile. This is a man who custom builds his reality on the fly. He did it when he conspired to hide a cruiser crash from the state police in 2018. He did it with his 4 green card marriages in 11 years. He did it by dodging the 15-mile residency rule since taking a job 58 miles away in Watertown. He did it when he claimed the state police gave him debilitating PTSD while simultaneously serving as Watertown Police's health and wellness trainer. And he did it when he swore under oath he lived on a fictional Manchester street in West Roxbury. Let's be entirely clear. A man with this casual, self-serving relationship to the truth and to his own sworn oaths is dangerous. Watertown officer Khalil Mafhum is fundamentally too unstable to wear a badge anywhere civilized society. And any municipal official who defends and enables this kind of pathological deception is an active danger to the public too. Just a week after Unsworth's unhinged lockdown attempt, the school district's social media accounts featured her proudly alongside her students' academic projects at their night of excellence. That is the difference between performative authority and real community standing. When middle school English teachers spend their days hunting down structural flaws and grading essay packets at midnight, a 6-page police report riddled with wrong birthdays and phantom crimes looks suspiciously amateur. Join us for episode 7, where we listen to Danny Unsworth try to minimize his call to the school and deny he was the one to sign the charging documents. Stay tuned.